Okay, yeah, I'm happy to. Do you need anything?
She hands you a like a little, oh god, I'm sure there's probably something in China for that, but like a little cake. And she says it'll make you feel better, but not that I care. And then stomps off.
Well, thanks. Well, that's sweet of her. And I'll shout, at the top of my lungs, my thanks to her. Thank you, sweet little otter girl, so that the whole town will hear it.
Thank you, sweet little otter girl. Ah, she just doesn't. Yeah, but she runs away and leaves you.
I'm going to enjoy this little piece of cake and then go back to bed.
Okay. Well, you eat the cake, and it actually has some odd flavor to it, but instantly upon eating it, you feel better, almost as if she put medicine in it.
So, a healing quota?
Yep.
Yay, what a nice girl.
No, there's no nail file, no poison, but yeah.
She drugged me though.
She didn't drug you. I mean, you don't wake up like bleary-eyed and tied up. Oh,
no,
like
it's medicine. As in
wake up, tied up, she
drugs.
pulls out some fireballs. Like, want to see a magic trick?
Drugstore. You're the punstress. You should get the puns. I'm disappointed in you, Liz.
You're disappointed in me. Okay. Anyway, so unless somebody has anything else, it rolls over into the new day.
Yeah, no, just hanging out near the egg, I guess.
A new day, lots of soreness, and of course a list of things to do, I'm sure.
But yeah, the Yuchin kind of goes upon like normal. It the new the industry, I guess, tends to start now early. Like the blacksmith starts pounding on the hammer, the bellows warming up. You can hear kind of the carpenter sawing boards and hammering on nails. There's definitely a lot more life inside the town these days.
Well, the real thing is the forge is being built and the lab that's being built, because that requires a lot of transport of stone and everything and wood.
Right, and you're starting to actually get some people, like just regular, like old farmering types, who are like are trickling back into the village, like Motherly Ling up there, or where she is. There she is.
Upper left.
Her husband returns, and there is a lot of shouting for joy and happiness, and he's like, okay, so who's this character who's helping her keep track of things? And he kind of's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, I'm just here trying to help you. And he immediately looks like, oh God, what is he doing? And she's, no, this one is up to no good, but he's okay, I think.
Didn't he receive his writ of freedom at some point, or did Shang still forget to actually give that to him?
If he does have a writ of freedom, he doesn't seem to.
Well, I mean that, and he's sleeping with the woman in the next door anyway.
Yeah. Well, her husband also returns, and so he kind of like goes back outside to sleeping underneath the little cart. But he doesn't seem to mind because he didn't want to stay there to begin with. But you're seeing things like that where there's kind of a little bit of word now of Yuchin starting to change over, and the people are coming back a little bit.
Ooh, okay.
Which might be a problem.
Why? Because you rented out the houses to people that used to live there, and they might be upset?
No, because this might upset the bigwigs in the city, because they thought they got all the people to work on their project.
Yep.
Among the things Tamrajin is doing in the morning, she might send someone to collect one of the people who've returned, just to get word of what's happening in the city and their projects and all that.
Motherly Ling's husband is probably
hmm
the one to, but yeah, he says, "Oh, they just so much waste, so much time, so much stupidity. They go on like usual. Half the time you're not working, and the other half of the time you're doing jobs that a skilled craftsman should be doing, not a somebody who just tills the soil. It's insane, I tell you. It's insane." And I just grew fed up of not working, and my family is alone without me. And I've heard rumors of Yu Chin developing with new things, and I'm simply stunned to see the huge change, it seems. And I have to till my own soil. Autumn is quickly approaching, and harvest season is around the corner.
Yes, of course. I'm glad to hear that you've returned, though. It's wonderful to have your company once again. Though it is a shame to hear that the whatever project that they're working out there is simply, well, continually cutting corners, I suppose.
I tell you what they're going to do next. They're going to ask for more money from the emperor. Mark my words. That's what that no good Nick is going to do next. As if he can't build it. Give me a break.
I would hope as long as he doesn't have to come to us for a little bit of money. Then just as well that he asks the Emperor.
Well, who knows what that layabout is up to next. There's all sorts of rumors that he's some of his friends are not too pleased right now.
I wonder what they might be thinking. I suppose I might have to plan another trip to the city. And, well, suppose if I do, maybe there might be more in the city who would wish to stop working there as well. And maybe they
Well,
could
I
help
mean-
fill Luchin out as well.
I'm pretty sure you could come back with each and every laborer who is called to that forsaken place, and probably then some. Why, you yourself have a little bit of a reputation.
She just like raises one of her hands to her cheek. It's like, oh, you flatter me. I can't believe people are talking of me. In
Yes,
that, of course I know kind of way.
Camera the Kind, they're calling you. It was amazing. You just walked off with several of the city guard, and now you employ powerful people who are, oh well, you made it sound like you yourself could heal the sick with but a touch and cure the blights of the land. Why, there's even a few mutters that you should be the one ruling Roljiang.
Oh, me? Ah, well, I could never. Well, not without the authority of heaven behind me, of course, but if that is what heaven would will, then I certainly am not one to refuse. But, that's certainly a thought far in the distance for anyone. If anything, things might just end up being the same as they always are in his court, but, well, I suppose it would pay for me to check in once in a while.
Well, I'm just glad to be back home. I never thought I would say it, even with my wife. By the way, who is that spotty character who's hoeing up my turnip garden?
Oh, him? Oh, for a time being, he was under, punishment, for he was part of the fire strike gang not too long ago. But he's done good work and shown goodwill. He's been free for a while now. Is he still tilling, your wife's garden?
Well, yes. I mean, he seems rather adamant about it. Told him to bugger off, and yet he's there working before I even I get up.
I see. Perhaps I should have a talk with him personally then. It seems he did not receive the, writ that I had sent him.
Okay.
But
So
again, wonderful to have you here again. And she will of course, go and talk with the leopard herself.
He is covered in like kind of dirt and sweat, and he seems to like have gotten like a little bit brawnier than he was a couple months ago. But he's got a straw hat on, and yep, he's weeding or tilling. Yeah, he's taking care of a row of turnips, and he kind of stands up and like stretches his back, and then sees he's like, oh, and he bows. Yes, Mayor Tamrajin.
A pleasure to see you again. Work seems to have done you well. She says, just like looking up and down, like his now like muscular body.
He kind of blushes a little bit and kind of puts his one foot behind the other, going, "Well, it's not much, but it's honest work."
This is true. Did you ever receive the writ Sheng Lu Po was supposed to deliver to you?
He kind of pauses and
The squirmy one, the otter.
Otter? No, I haven't been talked to by no otter.
Or maybe it's weasel. I always mix them up.
They all look the same to me.
It's small, brown, furry.
Hey,
I think he had lost a rope.
Okay, but like, oh, I think he did. Well, I don't know. I just I have nowhere else to go, so I figured, you know what? Even if I don't have to be here, this is still good work. So I figured, well, it's at least I don't have to go back into what's her face's house, and he kind of like makes a look over at the neighbor's house where you can hear arguing inside. But could be
Well,
worse.
in case you have not read it, then you are free from your work here in Yushin. You are free to do as you please. And in fact, I did have plans to give you a small piece of your own land if you had wished it.
Kind of looks at you, so like, oh, don't kick me out. Okay. Well, where did you have in mind?
Well, that would be for you to decide. We're constructing many things. And, well, I suppose if you ever tire of the fields themselves, there's plenty of other work going around these days.
He kind of goes, well, I certainly appreciate it, but I'd have to wait until next season. I mean, if I stop now, Motherly Ling and her little ones wouldn't have nearly as much harvest. I mean, Po is growing really strong in Shanghai. He eats more than he speaks. I mean, the poor little guy needs a lot more. And I know her husband just came
one
home,
hand up to like her mouth to like conceal her giggle, in the way that people don't actually conceal anything at all, and puts another hand like on his shoulder. It's like, it's all fine. It's okay. They're doing well on their own. And look, her husband is back too. And
yes, and well, with marital things and whatnot, I'm sure they'll have another mouth to feed. And who would take care of that one, I wonder?
that's for them to take care of. You should think about yourself for a short while. Find your own family. Perhaps there's a nice woman in town for you. Have you actually spoken to many people?
Oh, well, no. I guess I was just a little ashamed about trying to shoot them earlier and all that.
Well, here. Why don't you take this? And she'll pull like a coin from her pocket. Why don't you go spend the day at the inn, have some drinks, and make some friends? And then afterwards, if you want to do some work for me in particular, come by. I'm sure I'll have something for you to do.
Okay. He like nods and says, "Oh, heavens bless you, you kind woman, you kind mayor. Surely I've been corrected to the righteous path, and I'm in your debt. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you." And he kind of skips off to the tea house.
All right. Well, with that settled, Tamara's probably going to find the captain of the guard, talk to him a little bit, and of course have the cart fetched and bring the egg to her house.
I think that might cause a little bit of a dispute.
Okay, so
It might.
Yazi, you see Tamra coming up to the egg.
Well, I thought Tamara was going back to her place to speak to the captain of the guard, and the captain of the guard was going to be coming for the egg.
Or who's coming out to collect it, I guess.
I guess Tamara right now is assuming it's like, oh yeah, we said something like 2 days ago casually, so of course it's coming over here. And so Hugh the Grey is probably just going out there and just going, oh well, I was told to do this.
Right. In the meantime, I don't know, what time of day is it right now?
I would say probably midday-ish.
Has the egg spoken to me again since?
Not until you speak to the captain of the guard, in which case, almost before he speaks to you, you hear that voice say, "Don't let them take me away."
Oh, you instigator. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's my answer as well. Okay. By the way, I got a name for you. I think it fits.
What's that?
Your name is Pulau.
Pulau? What does it mean?
It doesn't, roar.
What was that? I heard like a laughing sound. Okay.
I think it's
Pulau
Griffin's
the
dogs. Yes. Yeah, the vicious roar of a tiny dog.
Okay. Okay, well,
I've
nice
named
to meet you,
yes,
Gazi.
named it my own naming scheme. Not my own naming scheme, the naming scheme that my character is in. I'm named after one of the 9 sons of the dragon, so I've named him after one of the 9 sons of the dragon. Namely, the one that's known to roar, or in this case, the egg can only talk, so give it the name of the one that's only known for speaking.
Okay.
Pulau.
Alright.
Now I guess I'm going to talk to this captain of the guard who's going to get in my way.
So the captain of the guard shows up and says, "Oh, morning, Yazi, or afternoon, I suppose. Got some orders. I'm supposed to take the egg back to the mayor's."
Alright, I'm going to cross my arms behind my back in that way that I always do when I'm in business mode, and say, I'm afraid I cannot be done at this time.
Oh, how do you mean?
I mean that there's problems, and I'm in the midst of seeking answers. I'm sure you've seen the boat has left this morning?
Yes, the boat's left, but mayor says she wants the egg in the house.
Alright, well then I will have to send you back to the mayor, empty-handed but with words. That currently there is a situation in which case I cannot relinquish the egg at this time. And I hope for her continued understanding in our endeavors together here in Yuchin.
He kind of looks at you and goes, "Oh gosh, all right, just don't drag me in the middle of it."
You're in the middle of it. You're the captain of the guard.
Yeah, I know it.
You took the job, man.
Yeah. All right, I'll tell her. But you know what might happen.
Right. And as he turns his back to walk away from me, I'm gonna wave over Guan Yi,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell Guan Yi to assemble the remaining guards that I have in the town and form up over here because I think there's gonna be a problem.
Okay. He says, "All right, you're the boss." And Tamra, your captain comes back with bad news. He says,
Oh, welcome back, Captain.
Yes, ma'am. Yazi says there's something that he's looking into with the egg. He can't give it up right now."
Oh, I see. Well, it's a shame if he keeps it out in the cold much longer. I hope he can move it soon. He's just keeping that on that cart. I suppose I ought to talk to him later and see what we can do. Probably another deal. Well, I suppose I ought to talk to him later anyway.
Okay.
Oh, But I suppose as long as you're here, I ought to talk to you some more. How has the training been going for the newest volunteers? The ones from the refugees?
Training has been good. They like to play cards a little too much, but they seem to be getting a little bit better than they were before. I just, just concerned is all. We really need a wall around this place, but I have no. That's going to take forever to build, and I don't know. Just a little worried is all. If they decide to attack in one force, who knows what'll happen?
I'm in agreement. It would be the worst case scenario if they were to all show up at once, one large coordinated force, and strike. It's why I also wish probably to talk to you about tactics. Well, let's do one thing at a time. So, the training is going well, and I suppose I'll have work for them soon. Uh, no doubt the others have told you about the mine after returning. I'm thinking perhaps we could begin some excavation, set up a camp, and maybe if I go to the city, I can acquire a few more people to work for it.
No,
That should bring
definitely.
some extra fortune to you, Chin.
Absolutely, it will. So, well, if lead by itself is worth something and add silver on top of that, well, who knows how deep that goes? But even for a decade or a generation, it's going to play out pretty nicely, I think.
I would hope so. I'll be having the young otter girl at the tea house evaluated. She should be able to give us a more definite answer of what else we might find, or how deep. I need to find more money to pay her, too.
And he kind of nods and says, "Well, whatever decision you make, just let me know, and I'll see it through."
Talk to me about this wall, though. Certainly you've thought about it some. What would it take to do? How long? How many men? How many resources?
Well, it would take a while. I mean, a couple seasons at least, I think, to make a palisade around just a simple wooden wall. But then again, I mean, it's better than nothing. As far as stone goes, well, that can take a long time if you don't have the labor force for it, and it certainly is expensive.
Right. So a few seasons for the wall, and that's simply with what we have right now, or with a minimum effort?
Well, you'd have to send some work crews into a little bit further up the river to get some trees, but float them down the river and process them. Yeah, I could see realistically if we had 100 or so people working on it, it might take us a season or a couple seasons.
I see. Well then, I'd like to task you, of course, with, the first being to set up the mining camp. Take a few of the men out there, begin a bit of digging, and erect a small structure so that whoever ends up camping out there at least has a roof over their head.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
I
we
have to sleep out there twice.
I was thinking about that. Maybe we might want to build like a little outpost tower or something like that. Something simple, just so we see smoke on the horizon, or we know that there's. I don't know if things are risky here. I mean, I can't imagine how bad they could be if they decide to attack the mine.
That's a wonderful idea too, Hui. So, if you could perhaps, when you have a moment, or perhaps if I'm not here, talk to Samuel over here and have him write down the estimates you have for how long and how much manpower you need for these tasks.
All right, I'll have to think about it, but sure, I can let Samuel know.
Indeed. I suppose throw a possible lumber camp on top of that as well, but, well, we'll worry about that when we get to the wall.
If you could get us a couple hundred people, that would take care of it. But God, we're running out of space as it is. I mean,
I'm in agreement. I'm almost considering just contracting the whole militia to start building houses.
well,
I might
people can
have
live,
to.
people can live in tents for a while. Well, it's maybe not in wintertime quite so easily, but got to do what we got to do.
Well, if you happen to see Shanglu Po, give him a bump of your shoulders and tell him how much hard work you have ahead because he's not doing his.
I will, ma'am.
Still, you have your task for now. But I suppose if the one last thing would be, what would you think of an expedition, to the broken village of my, compatriot, upstairs? He's still staying here. Perhaps to fight the Fire Strike Gang. I think would perhaps be a very poor option, but we need some information.
Yeah, it seems like they've been quiet for a little while, but yeah, we can certainly check that out.
I think the wolves might be the best choice, but I might leave that to your discretion somewhat. Who actually has sneaking? Nobody has sneaking, but some people do actually have searching and tracking, and that would be the
Mhm.
wolves for sure. So if we could get at least some eyes, and if you could give me a report, it would go a long way to at least ensuring our security.
Yeah,
I,
most definitely.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, Hui, but I trust you more than anyone.
All right, well, we're in for a penny, in for a pound. We'll see what we can do, okay?
Best of luck on your work. I
We'll
still
see.
have more to do.
Absolutely. So he will salute you and kind of do it to it. Lue,
Yes.
what are you up to during the day?
Well, during the day, since I am so injured and whatnot, I am just going to go out to the tea house and live it up. Uh, though first thing in the morning, I will see the doctor for more healing.
By the way, he's also been informed that your payments can be taken out of your next payday. So you don't have to.
Well, I have enough money, so I can just subtract it from myself here.
Okay. Does that include the first payment from when you were unconscious?
Sure.
Okay.
Because how much is a
Two
doctor's visit?
boo.
2 boo? Okay, so I'll subtract 4 now.
Let's do another roll.
Because like I said before, you're 8 days away from your first payday.
I only get one.
Well, one's still something.
Yep.
But I'm gonna live it up in the tea house. Well, there's normally it might be 1 boo. I'm gonna spend a whole free boo on myself and some people who entertain me.
Okay. Um,
Basically, I'm not doing a whole lot except being gregarious.
okay. Well, Ling the Firebrand has her own little table, and she keeps kind of glaring up and looking at you throughout while you're there.
I
But
am
you do
loud and obnoxious with drink.
trying to read in a bar. You're so obnoxious. Um, but she keeps uh, looking up from her books. But you also notice that Fang Jin and Lena the Squirrel Girl, seem to be hitting it off very, very nicely. They're constantly chatting with each other. She laughs and kind of covers her face a little bit, and he kind of makes a big dopey grin. And she is, of course, busy helping with tables and whatnot, but she keeps kind of lingering back. And yes, Ning,
Yes.
do you go back to your regular dances again, or do you wait it out until you're a little bit?
Well, first of all, I would like to get some stuff.
Sure.
First thing would be some new clothes because the clothes I had on me were not going to cut it anymore. I mean, not with the amount of gore that had soaked into them.
Your clothes are ruined. Yes. So, do you mention that? I take it to one of the skunk girls.
I will, yeah, I mean, I need to find somebody, a tailor.
Well, Mei Ling kind of pauses and says, "Well, Motherly Ling is actually pretty handy. She could probably make you something nice."
All right, then I will be heading that way. Also, I will be heading to the doctor and the priest, but that's for later, I suppose.
Okay. But so you first go to Mother Li Ling's house?
Yes, because I don't expect her to have anything right now, so I will just drop by and say that I'm looking for a dress and maybe discuss price.
Okay. Well, you come back and you of course hear lots of like happy yells and noise from kids, like playing around and um, yeah, nobody is. They're kind of sad that their spotty friend is gone, but they're kind of back doing their own thing. And Mother Liling's husband is like, okay, no, you're being too loud. Get back to work. And yeah, but we didn't used to. Usually used to. Yeah, well, he's not here anymore, is he? Now get back to work, sort of thing. And you knock on the door, and Mother Liling is. Um, she's got like a bowl of some sort of food that she's kind of stirring and says, oh my, hello, yes, I don't think I've met you. Hello.
Hello, I've been told that you are a tailor or a seamstress.
Oh well, oh my, I don't know if I'm that spectacular, but I certainly know my way around the needle and thread. And she kind of looks at you and says, my, aren't you the elegant one? Look at you. You would look so good if we had some silk, we could really. She kind of like looks around and say, yes, you could do that and that. And, oh, I'm so sorry. I get ahead of myself.
But yes, that's why I'm here. I'm looking for something to replace this dress because, as you can see, it has seen better days.
Oh my, yes. Well, I could certainly launder it for you and fix it a little bit. But if you want something new, I could certainly do that.
Something new would be useful for at least the reason that I would not have to, that I would have something to wear while this one is being laundered.
Okay. Well, yes, we can do that. Now let's see here. Gosh, if we had a little bit more silk. Well, okay. And she sets down whatever she's making and pulls out like kind of darts back in and gets like a tape measure, like for fitting, and says, okay, or a little bit of string rather, since she probably doesn't have it. And it's got like black markings on it. And she says, okay, you're like that. And my, don't you have a pretty figure? Why? Okay. And then you're, okay, let's see here. Okay, well, sure, I could probably do that. And she kind of goes through materials with you and what you're looking for, and says, okay, well, I suppose, if I work on it, let's see here. Well, their father's back. Well, I don't know, a couple days maybe. I haven't sewed in a while. It's exciting.
Okay, that's totally acceptable.
And she kind of like doesn't even think about price and just sort of goes and. Do you try to negotiate? Oh,
I don't
negotiate.
exactly have negotiation, but I am not really the stingy type.
okay. So she doesn't even bring it up. She just goes right into it and kind of goes and says, "Mommy's working now," and kind of goes back to what she's doing. But yes, she will start working on that for you.
All right. So now off to the doctor.
Okay. while you're on the way to the doctor, you pass by one of the wolves that was, and you see her in the bushes. Here, let me see if I can.
Sorry,
it-
you cut off at see by the wall.
Oh, sorry. Let's see here. Is it shift to click to bring it to the map?
Shift left click, yeah.
You hear some shouting and some kind of heated noises, and you kind of approach the wolf woman named Muraich, who was one of those captured individuals that was freed, that was actually being on the slave, one of the exotics. And she is arguing with another wolf. And he says something to her to the effect of, "I know exactly what you are, you filthy heathen." And she calls him some kind of swear word that you don't know what the meaning of it is because it's in another language, but you kind of get that.
The notion, yes.
Yeah. And
do I have an idea who's that the other guy is?
He is wearing chainmail and very strange looking clothes. It looks like the two of them are arguing something, but it's in a language that you don't know.
I mean, the Father Pierre.
It's not Father Pierre, no. Father Pierre is a round, portly gentleman who seems rather jolly most of the time. This is a wolf that you've never seen before, wearing clothes and armor, and you can actually see that slung across his back is a strange-looking firearm.
All right, time to investigate this. I will straighten my back, push the chest out, and strut towards the pair, making enough noise to be heard, but not to be overly obvious about it.
So he kind of notices out of the corner of his eye and then switches over to Zhang Wei's. "Oh, why don't you tell them? Why don't you tell them that you're a witch?" And she growls and shows her teeth. And he kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, how does it? What's it like knowing that you have a witch in your village?"
It's a good thing, yes. And who you might be?
Oh, this is adorable. You don't even know who you're up against, do he seems rather loud and full of himself. And oddly, you kind of have this feeling that you've seen the armor somewhere. Make a mind and observation roll. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, just typing.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
2 successes.
You're pretty sure you've seen that armor on when the group first killed one of the mercenaries. The chainmail was confiscated. You know that chainmail because you've seen it, and this looks like somebody who might be some sort of mercenary, in fact.
Just out of character, I don't think I was in that session when the mercenaries were around.
Okay.
Yeah, before you joined, I think.
Okay. Then yes, this looks like somebody who's from a foreign land, who has foreign weapons, and it's odd that he was kind of here to begin with. And Muraich says, this filthy Bisclaverayan cur, he and his friends are here causing trouble. Why don't you tell them really what you're selling out your people for? Nothing more than shiny rocks, you filthy animal. And he laughs and says, "Oh, those are big words from somebody who worships trees."
I am going to whistle.
Lu Wei.
Yes. I'm very drunk.
Okay, make a mind and observation roll.
Is that your way of saying I'm very belligerent right now?
I'm very drunk, but I apparently do still notice some things.
No, I mean like you're gonna beat someone's ass if they get called out.
No, it's more I don't know how I'll act.
Okay. Well, you actually hear over the sound of the tavern a whistle, and having watched Ning perform before and spend some time with her, you can differentiate it. It seems like it's hers.
Yay, Ning's whistling. I am happy. She is happy.
But it's coming from outside the tavern.
Well, I'm gonna go outside and see a show. I'm taking my drink with me.
I am hoping that it will attract attention of the guard as well.
Let's see here.
Take a look. Militia and soldiers do not have observation, but they could still perhaps notice.
Two of them
They
are
have
over
their
here.
mind.
They
With
do.
one success, they do hear the sound and decide to investigate.
And then drag him back over to here. I mean, all my guards are gathered on this side of the river too. I just don't think they'd come.
So, Lu Wei, you come out and you see a guy who is obviously one of the mercenaries. Seemed to be shouting at the pretty exotic wolf lady and your new best friend Ning.
Okay. Let me see. This is I don't like do I recognize the mercenary?
Oh yes, these are the same types of mercenaries you fought before. He's wearing chainmail and he has a foreign weapon strung across his back.
Okay. Orange was injured, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna put that on me. Let me see. I'm going to. I'm very drunk. I'm going to try and get closer stealthily.
Dun 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 dun. Okay.
I'm sure like the two guards will just like stare at you as you do this. Like, okay, Lu Wei's doing it again. Just pretend he's successful.
It's 2d6, but I have a penalty. They get to roll against. I have no successes, but I'm trying.
They could roll
Okay.
ones.
He kind of does a double take, like what? As you're like tiptoeing exaggerately, pausing every once in a while to take a drink of your beverage and then continue forward. And he doesn't like that and says, "Fine. Just so you know, The Fire Strike Gang is gonna deal with you guys. And if when this place is burning down, I'll find you filthy whore, and I'll burn you alive myself.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. That's not nice. Come join me for a drink. A drink is nice.
And he tries to scuttle away.
I'm
What
not
do
gonna
you guys?
let him.
I will definitely not let him go so easily. I will follow for now.
I'm just gonna go right after him, try and catch him.
Okay.
I am going to grab him and whatnot. So I am
Well-
going to initiate a fight.
This would provoke a fight, yes. So
Just wondering, Lu Wei, are you sick as well, or are you just injured?
I was just injured, not sick.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm both sick and injured, but
Yeah.
still I'm the fastest around.
Yeah, the venom they used on me was the one that hit me with slow and whatnot, not the thing that.
Oh no, it was more of your combat save. Whatever you rolled on the combat save on that chart. I don't remember
No,
what it
because
was.
it wasn't a dying result. I reduced I wasn't dead, reduced to dying. I reduced dying to injured.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That was it.
you didn't pick up sick. If you had, then you would have. You would have gotten it. But
So yes. I am gonna. Are you rolling initiative?
yes, we are, because he does not want to be taken.
Remember, he's got a gun.
I have a success. Man, am I glad I got danger sense. That would have been embarrassing had I not.
Yeah, as embarrassing as a giant trying to sneak up on somebody.
Hey, now, I didn't want to bother him. Let me see what was.
Let us now pray for the divine bureaucracy that Ning and Lu Wei do not die this day.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you got your combat save back because this is a new session.
Okay.
So.
Well, he has focus, so
Oh, that's not good. Ming, you're the closest. I'll let you go first.
I am going to pull out my scholarly sword.
Okay.
You're gonna get it. She's gonna teach you something.
Yes. Mostly because I want him. I want to try taking him alive if possible, and that the scholarly sword gives better options towards that.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he is an idiot and does not yield.
Yeah. See, I'm a slaver. I'm very good at getting people alive. All right, Ning. So you just pull out your sword and guard, or what's your second action?
Oh, actually,
No, you had a success, so you could have already had your sword ready. So you have two actions.
okay. Yeah. So yes, guard and then move